Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly realized you have no idea why you went there in the first place? It is a disorienting feeling that often sends a cold shiver of concern down your spine as you stand there in silence. You might laugh it off as just another senior moment, but deep down, there's a nagging fear that your mind is starting to slip away. Perhaps you have watched a parent or a beloved one slowly lose their connection to the world, and you are terrified of becoming a burden to your own children. I want you to stop for a moment and take a deep breath, because I am here to tell you that this decline is not your inevitable destiny. Science has recently revealed a breathtaking truth called neuroplasticity, which proves your brain can grow, heal, and form new connections at any age. Your brain is not a vessel that simply leaks its contents over time. It is a living muscle that can be strengthened, nourished, and protected if you know the right techniques. Today, we are going to explore 10 scientifically proven keys to unlock what is known as the quick brain, specifically tailored for your stage of life. These are not just casual tips, they are the fundamental pillars of cognitive longevity that will help you stay sharper, faster, and more independent than you ever thought possible. As we go through each of these keys, I want you to honestly rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how well you are currently practicing them. Do not worry about being perfect today. Simply focus on where you are right now so we can build a realistic roadmap for your future health. Let us begin with the first and most critical pillar of brain health, which is good brain food and targeted nutrition. You have likely heard the old phrase that you are what you eat, but for your aging brain, this is a profound and literal truth. The fuel you provide every single day determines the health of your gray matter and the electrical speed of your thoughts. At the very top of the brain-boosting list are avocados, a delicious fatty fruit rich in monounsaturated fats that maintain healthy blood flow to every capillary in your brain. Then we have what I like to call brain berries, specifically blueberries, which are packed with potent antioxidants called anthocyanins. These tiny powerhouses protect your brain from oxidative stress and have been shown in clinical trials to reduce the inflammatory effects of brain aging. Broccoli is another essential vegetable, providing a massive dose of vitamin K and choline to enhance your cognitive function and overall neural power. We must also talk about the benefits of extra virgin coconut oil, which provides medium-chain fats that act as an alternative high-quality fuel source for your neurons. Eggs are vital to your diet because they contain high levels of choline, a nutrient that improves memory and stabilizes the delicate membranes of your brain cells. Do not forget your green leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens, which are loaded with vitamin E and folate to prevent cognitive decline. For those who enjoy seafood, wild-caught salmon is a goldmine of omega-3 fatty acids, which are the literal building blocks of your brain's structure. Turmeric is a secret weapon that reduces chronic inflammation and boosts antioxidant levels to keep your immune system strong and your mind alert. Walnuts are shaped exactly like a human brain for a reason. They are high in zinc and magnesium, which are essential for maintaining a positive mood and preventing neural aging. Finally, for a bit of daily joy, high-quality dark chocolate stimulates endorphins and improves your focus while protecting your cardiovascular health. Take a moment to rate your current diet. Is every meal a brick in the wall of your defense, or is it a crack in your foundation? The second key is a deep psychological one, which is the practice of killing the ants, or automatic negative thoughts. Your brain is constantly listening to every word you say to yourself, and your self-talk is the software that runs your sophisticated biological hardware. If you constantly tell yourself that you are getting old or that your memory's failing, you are literally rewiring your brain to make those negative beliefs a reality. These toxic thoughts act like a slow-acting poison that increases cortisol levels and physically shrinks the hippocampus, which is the part of your brain responsible for memory. You must learn to practice a mental cleanse every morning, just as you would cleanse your body of physical impurities. Remember that a coward dies 1,000 times in their mind through worry, but a brave person chooses to focus only on what they can actually control. Your imagination is the most powerful creative tool you possess. Please do not use it to rehearse your fears or your potential failures. Instead, use that mental energy to visualize your mind staying sharp, clear, and vibrant as the beautiful years continue to pass. Rate yourself honestly on your self-talk. Are you currently acting as your own best friend, or are you your own worst critic? The third pillar is physical exercise, because the truth is that as your body moves, your brain grooves and grows. We often mistakenly think the brain is just for abstract thinking, but its primary evolutionary purpose was to control complex physical movement. The research in modern neurology is undeniable. Anything that is good for your heart is infinitely good for your head and your memory. Consistent exercise increases the flow of oxygen and essential nutrients to the brain, while stimulating the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This incredible protein acts like a high-grade fertilizer for your brain cells, helping them grow, survive, and form new connections. People who remain physically active consistently outperform their sedentary peers on every test of focus, mental acuity, and long-term memory. You do not need to run a marathon to see results. Even a brisk 30-minute daily walk can be the difference between a foggy mind and a sharp one. How well are you moving your body every single day to support your cognitive health? The fourth key involves understanding your brain nutrients and your unique biological profile as you age. In our modern world of convenience foods and high-intensity lifestyles, many of us are unknowingly deficient in critical vitamins that the brain requires. I strongly recommend working with a qualified functional medicine doctor to test your blood for specific deficiencies in B vitamins, vitamin D3, and DHA levels. If your nutrient levels are even slightly low, your brain simply cannot perform the complex chemical reactions required for high-level thinking and mood stability. Do not guess when it comes to your long-term health. Get the hard data and supplement wisely to fill the nutritional gaps in your diet. Rate your awareness of your own internal biology and how often you check in on these vital health markers. The fifth pillar is perhaps the most overlooked in our digital age, and that is your positive peer group and social connections. You have heard that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and this applies to your neurology as much as your character. We possess specialized mirror neurons that cause us to unconsciously imitate the habits, speech patterns, and even the stress levels of those around us. If your social circle is filled with people who constantly complain about aging and neglect their health, you will likely find yourself doing the same. Seek out those who challenge you to think bigger, who stay curious about the world, and who encourage you to keep growing every day. Analyze your social network with a critical eye and ensure you are surrounded by people who lift your mental energy rather than draining it. The sixth key is maintaining a clean, organized, and healthy environment for your mind to thrive in. Your external world is often a direct reflection of your internal state, and a cluttered desk or home often leads to a cluttered and anxious mind. Beyond simple organization, we must also consider the quality of the air you breathe and the water you drink in your home. Environmental pollutants and hidden toxins can act as subtle neurotoxins that dull your senses and slow down your mental processing speed. Create a sanctuary for your mind by ensuring you have access to fresh air, filtered water, and a quiet space that promotes deep clarity and focus. The seventh pillar is absolutely non-negotiable for anyone over 40, and that is the priority of high-quality sleep. Sleep is not a luxury or a sign of laziness. It is the essential time when your brain performs its most critical maintenance and repair. During deep sleep, your brain activates the glymphatic system, which is like a waste management system that flushes out toxic metabolic waste. These are the same harmful proteins that contribute to the development of Alzheimer's and other debilitating forms of dementia. Sleep is also the only time when your brain consolidates your short-term memories and moves them into long-term permanent storage. If you are not sleeping well, you are not learning, and you are leaving your brain vulnerable to rapid decay and dysfunction. Furthermore, your brain is actually more active at night than during the day, as it works through problems and generates creative solutions in your dreams. Respect your sleep cycle as if your life depends on it, because in a very real neurological sense, it does. The eighth key is the vital practice of physical brain protection from both impact and invisible threats. Your brain is the only organ in your body encased in solid bone for a very specific reason. It is incredibly fragile and delicate. Even minor concussions or seemingly small traumatic brain injuries can have devastating and long-lasting effects on your cognitive health. Always wear a helmet during activities. Be mindful of tripping hazards in your home and protect your head at all costs. But protection also means being aware of the modern invisible threats, such as the electromagnetic fields constantly emitted from our smart devices. Avoid sleeping with your phone directly under your pillow, and give your brain a dedicated rest from the constant electrical stimulation of the modern world. The ninth pillar is the lifelong pursuit of new learning, which acts as the primary engine of neurogenesis. For a long time, the old scientific consensus believed we were born with a fixed number of brain cells that slowly died off until we passed away. We now know that you can actually create brand new neurons until the very day you die if you provide your brain with the right stimulus. That stimulus is novelty, which is the intentional act of learning something completely new, challenging, and unfamiliar to you. Whether it is starting a new language, learning a musical instrument, or taking up a complex strategic hobby, Pushing your brain out of its comfort zone is vital. Think of it as building mental muscles. If you only do the same easy crossword puzzles every day, your brain will eventually stay stagnant. You must challenge yourself with something truly difficult to keep the fires of neuroplasticity burning bright throughout your later years. Finally, the 10th key is the consistent and effective management of daily stress. Stress is an invisible killer that many of us have become so accustomed to that we no longer even notice its presence in our bodies. Chronic stress floods your system with the hormone cortisol, which in high amounts literally kills brain cells in the hippocampus. You must have a daily practice to cope with the inevitable pressures of life, whether it is meditation, gentle yoga, or simple focused breathing exercises. Taking the time to consciously relax is not being lazy. It is an active act of neurological preservation and self-love. If you do everything else right but live in a state of constant high stress, you are effectively sabotaging all of your other hard work. These 10 keys are the combined secret to a brain that stays young, vibrant, and highly capable, regardless of the date on your birth certificate. I want you to look back at the scores you gave yourself today and see which specific area needs your immediate attention. Do not try to change all 10 habits starting tomorrow. That is a recipe for failure and more stress. Instead, choose just one or two pillars that you scored lowest on and commit to them fully for the next 30 days of your life. Success in long-term brain health is not about finding a magic pill. It is about the consistent, small daily habits that protect your most precious asset. You have the inherent power to take full control of your cognitive future and live a life filled with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. Your brain is capable of truly incredible things, and it is never too late to start treating it with the deep respect it deserves. Thank you so much for joining me on this important journey to a better, sharper, and more vibrant version of yourself. Take good care of your brain today, and I promise your brain will take care of you for the rest of your life.